show.
Combining the good news with the best music.
You're listening to My Radio FM 101.1 Owerri.
Welcome back. Glad to know you're still there. If you're just tuning in, this is still fresh on My Radio 101.1 FM Owerri. We'll continue with the rest of the news. Misleading marketing of formula milk combined with deep-rooted cultural superstitions prevents over half of the world's infants from being exclusively breastfed during the first 6 months. This is according to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, as it joins the rest of the world to mark the 2026 World Breastfeeding Week, held in the first week of August every year. In 2018, a World Health Assembly resolution endorsed World Breastfeeding Week as an important health promotion strategy, with a different theme each year. It aims to promote the enabling environments that help women to breastfeed, including support in the community and workplace, with adequate protections in government policies and laws, as well as sharing information on breastfeeding benefits and strategies. Therefore, UNICEF has called for all hands to be on deck to promote exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life, starting with an hour of birth. It noted that continuing to breastfeed exclusively without any other food for the first 6 months, even after 2 years of age or longer, promotes sensory and cognitive development and protects babies against infectious and chronic diseases. Speaking during a 2-day zonal media dialogue on disseminating of key advocacy messages on the 2026 World Breastfeeding Week, organized by UNICEF Field Office Enugu in collaboration with the Broadcasting Corporation of Abia State, with support from the United States Mission in Nigeria, Gates Foundation, Child Nutrition Fund, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Charity. The Communication Officer, UNICEF Enugu, Dr. Ijeoma Onoha Ogwe, said investing in the first 1,000 days of a child's life is critical to preventing malnutrition and ensuring healthier outcomes for children. Speaking on the topic, ethical reporting and effective messaging, channels and tactics for reporting for children in need and advocacy for strengthening what works, Dr. Ijeoma Onoha Ogwe urged journalists to intensify advocacy for optimal breastfeeding and uphold ethical standards in reporting issues affecting children. She stressed that journalists must always report in the best interest of children by safeguarding their privacy, identity, and dignity, warning against publishing images or stories that could expose them to stigma or harm.
In interviewing and reporting on children, special attention is to be paid to each child's rights to privacy, confidentiality, to have their opinions heard. You don't invent something for the child. You don't put words, especially if it's a child that can talk. You don't suggest something for a child. That is all we are saying, including the potential harm of distribution. We are putting the child into consideration to protect the child from any potential harm of distribution and harm. As already said it, we report in the best interest of the child. The closest to the child's situation and the best able to assess it are to be consulted. If a child cannot talk, for instance, if a child is stimulated in such a manner the child is not coherent and is a
Dr. Onoha Ogwe also encouraged journalists to leverage community radio, university FM stations, social media, and local language communicators to promote accurate information on breastfeeding and child nutrition. The Director General of the Broadcasting Corporation of Abia State, Francis Obinna Nwa Ubani, who spoke through UNICEF Desk Officer BCA Umaya Nkpa Okezie, charged journalists to keep telling compelling stories that promote breastfeeding while protecting the rights and dignity of every child. Doing justice to the theme of the dialogue, breastfeeding for a sustainable start in life, strengthening what works for exclusive breastfeeding, Mrs. Ngozi S. Honora, nutrition specialist, UNICEF Enugu, stated that many parents believe babies require water during hot weather, but she clarified that breast milk is 80% water and entirely satisfies the baby's thirst. She noted that putting newborns to the breast within the first hour after birth gives them the best chance to survive, strive, and develop to their full potential. She encouraged mothers to give their newborn babies only breast milk with no added water, juices, or other foods for 6 months, while adding safe and proper family food starting at 6 months.
The early breast milk, which is the colostrum, the first 3 days, is the child's first immunization. It is the child's first immunization and it protects the child from even abdominal colic because it's robust and it purges the child of all that he has taken that are not healthy. We call them meconium, the black stool, and then clears the gut, the child's stomach, to receive adequate nutrients from the breast milk. So I encourage mothers to breastfeed, to be able to bond with their children, to minimize all the delinquencies we are seeing today, and to ensure that the child sucks intelligence, the child learns to smile, the child learns to love, the child develops well and never falls ill, and the child learns to grow in a larger society.
On strengthening what works for exclusive breastfeeding, Mrs. Honora called for appropriate spaces for breastfeeding and storing breast milk at workplaces, paid maternity leave, as well as delivering in baby-friendly hospitals or health centers. Delivering their lectures, Dr. Hilary Ozo, social behavior and change communication specialist and officer in charge of UNICEF Field Office Enugu, and Dr. Chikeze Obasi, consultant public health physician, lamented that many families continue to face barriers towards achieving or strengthening what works for exclusive breastfeeding. They urged journalists to help create enabling environments where families could make informed decisions towards achieving exclusive breastfeeding.
It is also a critical intervention for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly those related to health, nutrition, education, and poverty reduction. However, despite the overwhelming evidence supporting breastfeeding, many families continue to face barriers arising from misinformation, harmful social norms, inadequate workplace support, and inconsistent public messaging. Addressing these challenges requires collective action, and the media has a unique and indispensable role to play.
Let's say a breastfeeding woman is a woman who might have been adding some other thing, maybe water, infant formulas to the breastfeeding in addition to breast milk. But exclusive breastfeeding simply implies that the woman gives nothing else other than breast milk for the first 6 months. We've noted that these children that were exclusively breastfed are better off in terms of health, in terms of weight gain, in terms of maturity, including the brain maturity and ability to control diseases. We've only noted clearly that exclusive breastfed children actually help the society. Initially, it begins with the family by not costing the family heavily. All you need to do is the mother is taken care of, and then the baby takes that breast milk from the mother, and that reduces cost on the family, and it makes the family happier and for everybody. So exclusive breastfed child is better off clinically, does not suffer diseases, all these childhood diseases like diarrhea and
Apart from journalists, participants at the dialogue included